It's the NFL on EA Sports. And up next, we'll see this team's leader at quarterback. He's going to have to air it out plenty this week. Hope y'all ready for this one. All that and more coming up next on EA Sports.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you take a look at our home side as we enter play here. They come in feeling good after back-to-back victories.
And this coaching staff has to be pleased with how their defense played last week. They held their opponents to 3 points, and that was it. Thinking anything comparable to that performance, this one's in the bag.
On the other side of the field for our visitors here, we're in October now, so everybody should be coming into form, shouldn't they?
They really should, and what you have now is a full routine established about what you want to get done.
Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. At a glance at the man under center at 6'5", he always demands attention.
And it felt like in watching the game tape, he got everyone involved last week.
He was a manager.
He really was. That's a great way to put it because they ran the ball some. They threw it accurately. 1 touchdown pass, so he didn't, break the bank doing that, but he didn't throw any interceptions. That's the bottom line. That's why a defense loves a quarterback like that. Doesn't put them in bad situations.
It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. 2nd down. And they'll run on the inside handoff. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. You look at this defense, and this unit, very tough to throw against, currently 2nd best in the NFL.
Yeah, defending the pass hasn't been an issue for them. It's been stopping the run. And if they don't stop the run, they can't get back to their strength, which is guarding against the air attack.
And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. The drive stays alive, a 3rd down gain of 8.
Well, he was a busy man out of the backfield a week ago. They got the ball early and often. I have no doubt in my mind that he'll be a big part of the game plan here as well.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. The slot man in motion right. Back to throw now on 1st down. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. 2nd and a couple. They're going to look to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Again, he'll drop to throw. And this one almost intercepted. Not a good throw there. Nearly an opening drive, INT. Now a 2nd and 10. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. They push him back 8 yards that time on 2nd down. They were able to win last week despite him being sacked 4 times. They might need to tighten the reins a little bit, or this one may not end in another victory.
You're right about that. They can't count on just winning the game no matter what happens. They can't let the accumulation of hits and harassment in the pocket get to their quarterback. Got to stop that. Give him clean lanes to throw the football in order to have a better chance to win again this week.
Steps away to his left. And he can only manage to take the football to the 40, and that is well shy of the 1st down marker. The scramble good for a nice gain of 10 yards, but still 4th down. And they'll send out their punter now. As the first drive of the game stalls out, he's on to punt. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. They'll be led out by their quarterback, a 2nd-round pick back in April's draft.
Well, the silver lining from last week, He played phenomenally, kept the ball clean, and led them to the end zone several times. You know these NFL quarterbacks, though, they trade away all those touchdowns if it meant getting the win. That's his focus this week.
Throwing to start the drive. Duckworth. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there. Forced the ball free, and it's second down. Back to throw. Duckworth. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. It's a 13-yard pickup as the downs reset. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
Back to throw again. Throw complete there. Rodgers. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. From the 43, here's a second down and 6. They'll look to throw again. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. And he's brought down. Give him 14 on that one and a first down. Give the rookie another one on this opening drive and a first down with it. A nice start, Charles, for the first-year passer. He's come out, made a few plays, nice plays to begin this contest.
He certainly has, and if he finishes off this drive with a touchdown pass, I vote we don't call him rookie anymore. We'll move him right to veteran and continue from there.
It'll be a pickup of 5 on the keeper. It's second down. Looking to throw. Duckworth. And he's got it. Got his man on the end route. Complete. Call it a gain of 3 on the play. And 3rd and 1 now. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. They'll look to throw for it on 3rd and 1. Got it complete to Rodgers. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. And 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue. They'll look to throw here on first down. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and it'll be second down. Now a first carry here for their running back. And he'll get a couple here down to the 22. Well, this defense very strong in that victory from a week ago.
And they needed to be because the game was a game we don't see very often anymore. Low scoring, slugging it out in the trenches. One play can make the difference type of a game, and each play took on more importance, and they got it done.
That'll be enough to keep the drive moving forward. Another first down on the pickup of 5 yards. From the gun, they'll try to run it. And this will leave them a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. Pretty effective run there, and now they can start to smell that end zone.
Pound the rock. Make sure you use your O-line to set the tone of dominance and physicality, and pound the rock.
And they'll keep leaning on the running game back to the ground. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. He can muster only a yard there, and they'll be left with a 3rd and very short. No score after 1 on EA Sports. Ready for the second quarter, and it's our visitors with the football. The offense on third down tonight, a perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. They're looking at third and a few inches. He's got his target. That's complete. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. It'll be a gain of 6 that time as it moves the chains as well. So another third down conversion, and now they've got a first and goal. Back to throw. Duckworth, touchdown! A great play there. His first touchdown on the year. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself, no reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Out comes the kicking team here for the extra point. It's up and good, and it'll give his guys a 7-0 lead. That drive, a long one, spanning 15 plays. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And able to get this out to the 25. Back onto the field comes this offense, ready for their second drive. And they entered play on a 2-game win streak, and then they've got the open date on their schedule next week. So this is a group that's really looking to hit the break on a high note.
And this will obviously be a tough game for them, but go ahead and play this out with me, partner. If they win here and make it 3 in a row, they get to heal up after that. You got to think that's an ideal setup and a worthy goal to play for in this one.
It'll only be a loss of a couple, but the pressure gets home on first down. At the 23, it's 2nd and 12. From the gun, he'll hand this off. And he'll get about 3 up past the 25. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. That's to the right sideline, and it falls incomplete.
That looks like it's going to be 2 empty possessions now to start this football game. I think they're going to have to sit down and talk about what worked for them last week in their win. Sometimes you over-game plan, overthink things, get back to what works.
Good footwork at the 30. It's a 44-yard punt, just 3 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Back onto the field comes this offense, ready for their second drive. They have to be thrilled with that first drive. They got them the touchdown. Now they'll be looking to make it a 2-score advantage here on the road.
And you know they spent all week in practice, in meetings, talking about taking an early advantage. Being the road team, going up a score, that takes the crowd out of the game and puts some doubt in the minds of their opponents.
From the 35, here's a 2nd and 7. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Throwing into traffic there, and that's complete. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And it makes it 3rd down and 2 yards to go. So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit.
Still 3rd down.
Not ideal there. That delay of game backs them up 5 yards, so now they need 7 yards on 3rd down. Looking to throw. Duckworth. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 3rd catch of this first half for him, and this one is a 1st down.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through, No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. Back to throw. Duckworth. Going to throw right side here. Complete. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs. On first down, he'll drop to throw.
Now, quick throw there, going to be batted away and incomplete.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
He'll try again with the arm here on second down. And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much.
What would look like a march to the end zone has hit a momentary roadblock with that incompletion. No need to panic. They just got to come up with a high percentage play call and see if they can get their offense back on track.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a first down.
He's certainly done a nice job spreading the field on this drive, and here he finds his big tight end for good yardage. And that's what you have to do. Keep defenses guessing about where you're going to go with the football.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Here's a handoff out of the gun.
He will push his way down to about the 14. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Hands it off out of the gun.
He takes us down to about the 12 for a gain of 3.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
He's got his running back out of the backfield.
And inside the 5 here before he's out of bounds, right at the 3. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Looking to throw. Duckworth. And it's caught. Touchdown. A great effort there. A beast in the red zone with his 2nd touchdown of the game. And his guys find a way to stretch that lead.
Well, this has been a flawless start for them. They score, they get the stop, and they score again, Charles.
Complimentary football at its finest. You just mentioned how they got it done. They scored. The defense got the ball back for them. They score again. That's the way you win ball games.
Extra point right down the middle. And that'll make the score 14-0. So that drive spans 13 plays. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. But partner, fast forward with me for a second. Remember, next week they have the open week, so they're going to get some extended rest. Does that change how they manage the rest of this one?
I think it does a little bit, but not by too much, because you're right. You get the extra rest, you get a chance to heal up and kind of do a little bit of a reset for this team. But it's also 7 extra days to think back to the last time you were on the field. So now, a little more importance on what they're getting done because they carry it with them for essentially 2 weeks.
2nd and long. Throwing middle, and it's complete. A good gain of 9 before he's brought down at the 28. 2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0.
Now 3rd down and 7.
They'll drop to throw. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he's going to be stopped here a few yards short of the first as the tackle is made at the 33. So they bring out their punter as he's on here to punt it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. This is brought in at the 21. And a 7-yard return following a punt of 45 yards.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The visitors' offense and their quarterback ready to go once more. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive.
And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked.
And he will take it in for the touchdown. A big play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year, as his guys have opened up a very comfortable lead.
And remember, partner, that's a rookie quarterback back there. Apparently, he's getting the hang of this NFL thing pretty quickly.
Had 3 touchdown passes. You're right. He looks comfortable. What are they doing? Anything in particular?
Well, they keep talking about making sure they're giving him plays that fit his talents and also maybe shrinking the playbook a little bit. They did tell us that. Bottom line, he's really good.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that makes the score 21-0. Well, the offense wasn't out there for a long time, but they were out there for a good time. 1 play, and they're able to hit pay dirt. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse if this is an important possession, but I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit, and if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
Slot man moves right. Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. And he comes back with 1 complete. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Looking to throw. Can't get away, and he's taken down.
Backed up here. Tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first.
And pressure coming, and they got him once again. Now a 2nd timeout called for by the defense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. They bring their punter out there now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Call it 46 yards on the punt, just a single yard on the return as he was covered quickly.
And they will take over 1st and 10. The visitors' offense and their big play wideout getting ready to get back to work.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive.
And with a little under a minute to go, still time to try to put a drive together to add to their lead should they so choose.
And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Operating from the gun, Duckworth. And this will be incomplete.
Well, they approached this drive with a lot of confidence after their last one ended up as a touchdown. But incompletions on their first 2 throws has them huddling up and trying to figure out a big play here on 3rd down to get their momentum going again.
Now a 2nd timeout called for by the defense as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. And on now is the punter as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. And last week in the loss, 5 punts as he gets this one away. And the fair catch is made at about the 27-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt.
Back out comes this offense now late in this first half. I don't think they need to be reminded of the situation here. I mean, the clock is dwindling. 3-score deficit waiting for them at halftime unless they can get something on the board here before intermission.
It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. 16 yards right off the bat and a first down.
First and 10 at the 44-yard line.
They'll look to throw here. Pressure comes and down he goes. Now the offense will burn their third and final timeout as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And he knocks the ball away and it falls incomplete.
Trying to get something positive to happen here before the break, and they sure need it. They went for the big one, but it winds up incomplete.
This time they stay on the ground. And they'll indeed stop him on third down. And now what do you want to do with your timeouts? Now a timeout called for by the defense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. On fourth down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And we'll see what he can do on the return. 43-yard punt, but they get 9 back on the return. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. The throw out wide going to be incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time. Not wanting to take a chance this time, they'll keep it on the ground. And he'll just keep 2 hands on the football as he'll be taken down after a short pickup. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we are off to Orlando now to check in with Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach?
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you two in a bit.
Message received here. No need to wait. We're going to skip halftime and get right back to the action. Here comes the third quarter.
Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth ready for quarter number 3.
And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. The visitors' offense and their quarterback headed out for this next possession. And as we show you some of the highlights from earlier, he has been instrumental in getting his guys the lead as he looks to finish strong and close this one out. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
They suspected it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on first down.
And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. A yard in the wrong direction makes third down tougher. 3rd down and 9. Back to throw. Duckworth. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
Finally hauled down for the first time this game. Multiple defenders in there to drop him.
To me, the defense was looking a little gassed near the end of the first half, but they've come out of the locker room with a little extra spring in their step. Wonder what they did at halftime to get them so motivated.
I don't know, but that sack looked good. Now let's see if they can build on the momentum of that play. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. And now a fair catch called for and taken just outside the 40-yard line.
And now this offense comes back out onto the field. And they have had their problems moving the ball through the air as we take you through some of the action from earlier. This secondary has played about as well as you can. Many times they've left this quarterback with nowhere to go with the football.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive.
Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted.
And he'll return this ball across midfield to the 47-yard line.
And right about now, you start to think, and maybe they're starting to think, gosh, maybe points aren't going to happen for us in this game.
Well, it's a thought that is worth having because so far in this game, this defense has not just had the upper hand. They've appeared to be a step ahead, maybe even 2 steps to everything they've done. They've had an answer for everything this offense has thrown at them.
Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. And as we look back at how we got here, you'll notice a common theme in these highlights. A lot of yardage through the air. The passing game has been sharp right from the outset. So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material.
Throwing to start the drive. Duckworth. That'll be caught by Rodgers. So just 3 yards on the completion there. And it'll be 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 44-yard line.
Operating from the gun. Duckworth. Rodgers brings it in. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 7 catches for him now, and this last one, a 1st down.
And they'll run on the inside handoff.
Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure you're back. You spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Operating from the gun. Duckworth looking middle, and that's complete.
And we've seen him have success earlier on with the ball in his hands because he is a get it in space and make a play kind of a receiver. But that time, they closed on him quickly and held him to a short gain.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. It'll be a loss of 8 on the sack, and it's going to lead him to 4th down.
You know, on these types of plays, we're always looking to assess blame. Okay, where did it break down? Sometimes it's just a great play.
Now on 4th down, out comes the field goal unit here. It'll be spotted on the right hash. A 52-yard attempt. And his kick is good. And the route is on. It's 24-0.
So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here.
And he's all the way up across the 40 and down at the 42. Great return. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
From the gun, they'll try to run it. On a determined run there as he's going to take this all the way down near the 40.
12 yards there and a 1st down. Good push up front and that run in between the tackles.
Let's play the leverage game here. Offensive line just got lower than the defensive front, and they were able to get their pads on them and move them backwards and create space for their running back to roam.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
A 7-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 3 at the 34-yard line.
They'll set up to throw. And this one's incomplete.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And I don't think he got there, no. He's short by maybe a foot, maybe. Call it 4th and inches. And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe, and they get a little bit closer here as the lead's down to 3 touchdowns. So they're content to take the 3. Somewhat of a conservative call there, opting not to go for it on 4th and inches.
And that's from a team that you and I know is not usually playing it close to the vest. It's a little bit of a surprise that they opted for the 3 instead of going for it.
And he'll be stopped up at the 25. So now out comes this offense led by their quarterback as they take over once more. And he's been a nightmare to scheme against throughout this one. This defense has been totally taken apart, and that is borne out in his numbers. He's been terrific all game long.
They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front.
Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the 3rd quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly at the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a 1st down.
This is just more of the same. This defense has had no answer on a lot of these throws. They've let these receivers run wild, and here's another completion for good yardage.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down.
Oh, a first mistake for him in the ball game as it's intercepted.
And he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line.
Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is the team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive.
And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6.
2nd and 5.
Over the middle, it's complete.
9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 22-yard line.
The slot man in motion right. Now back to throw. And he will find his man on the outside. Then he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20.
Here now, 2nd and 4.
6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 4.
From the gun, he'll hand this off.
And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. It'll be 1st and goal when we come back. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and goal at the 10-yard line.
Here's a handoff out of the gun. A good display of power, but it will only get him just inside the 5 to the 4. A nice run there as he picks up 6. It's going to be 3rd and goal now. They'll look to throw. Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. He couldn't get the ball away on 4th and goal. And the ball will go over on the goal line stand. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Been a very strong performance for them, really, on both sides of the football. The turnover on downs, the most recent example, and now, obviously, they're in a great spot here.
Yeah, if you're over on the bench right now, you're shaking hands with your teammate, you're hugging him, give him a little dap. Been a big, big performance for them. Now you just don't get careless. Take care of the ball on the way out.
Right back to him on 1st down. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 68 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 16 times.
Most of their damage has been done through the air. I mean, they've rung the bell 3 times with passing touchdowns, but guess what? Ground game has not been neglected. Nice little burst right there.
And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. Play 3 of the drive not as successful. They go backwards after those 2 first down gains. So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Blitz coming, and down he goes. They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and it'll lead to a 3rd and long.
The lessons will continue, but this rookie, he's got to learn how to read situations just a little bit better. That far behind the line, he's got to find a way to get rid of the football and not take the sack, whether it's with his legs or just throwing it away.
This offense so far on 3rd down, they've had plenty of success. 8 conversions, looking for a 9th. This will be 3rd and forever. Off play action. Duckworth. Wide open receiver complete. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. A real letdown defensively. That was 3rd and a bundle, but they allow the conversion.
There's no doubt in my mind that not many guys in this league have had the impact that he's had here in the first half of the season. He's been a big play guy from the word go and continues to be one with another one right there.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. A good space to operate there as he takes this down inside the 45-yard line. And the gain here to the previous play, and it's better than 40 yards total. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Good gain there on 1st down, and keeps him in a running situation probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front, good blocking, nice hole for him, ends up picking up nice yardage, stays in bounds to keep the clock rolling. They are in charge of this scenario right now. They want to stay that way.
And not in any rush offensively. From the gun on 3rd down, Duckworth. He's going to get that to his running back out of the backfield. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs. Well, normally you might say start running the football. You've got the lead here in the 4th quarter, but the way that they've passed it with such success, I don't know, maybe keep throwing it.
Yeah, I think you brought up something that goes against conventional wisdom, right? In this stage of the game, you would think you would switch to a running attack, but you're exactly right. They've thrown it so well throughout the game, and trusting this quarterback, I think you continue to do so.
Here's 2nd and 1 now from the 7. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And it's caught. Touchdown. A 7-yard touchdown grab. As his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further. Another touchdown through the air for them, and for this rookie quarterback at the helm, he has put them in a great position, Charles, to get the victory in this one.
He's absolutely taken charge. Every touchdown for them has come via his arm. 0 rushing touchdowns, no special teams, no defensive scores. All him throwing the football. He's in cruise control right now, and so is his team.
Point after, right down the middle. And that'll increase their lead to 28. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. And just looking ahead, it would appear that that bye week is coming at the right time. They'll have 2 weeks to chew on this one, though probably not one that they want to chew on. A poor performance from start to finish.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. In trouble, and he's taken down. The sack recorded. It's a loss of 5, and now it's 2nd down.
Guys with his talent in the pocket aren't supposed to be getting hit like this, and you know an intense conversation with the offensive line is going to occur after this one. Might not be from him, but the offensive line coach will have plenty to say about this game.
Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he's going to be stopped here a few yards short of the first as the tackle is made at the 33. They'll get 11, but it'll still lead to a 4th down. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. A big-time sack there on 4th down. And the ball will go over on downs on the short side of the field. So they've gone for it twice now on 4th down of this game, and both times unsuccessful.
I wish we could hear the headsets now between the head coach and the offensive coordinator. Now that they're 0 for 2. If they get into a third situation, head coach might say, hey, you got anything for this one? Might get radio silence back.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the 1st down.
On 3rd down, they'll try and pick it up with a counter. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
I have 0 rooting interest in either team in this game. I only want a good game. But with all the offense we've seen from them tonight, it's kind of nice to see the defense step up and make a big play.
Yeah, I was wondering if they were ever going to get him in the backfield. Nice to see him get a stop. And his kick here is good. And that will extend their lead even further.
So the starting field position was terrific following the surprising turnover on downs, but the end result, only 3 points.
Simply stated, I think you have to look at that as a missed opportunity.
And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. Now this game went off the rails early for them and never really got back on track. And these fans, they were expecting to be on the other side of the scoreboard, but that is not the case as we play on here this 4th quarter.
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and it's 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 4 at at the 33-yard line.
On play action, they'll throw. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's third down. Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. He'll drop to throw. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. We'll call that a 43-yard punt, 2 on the return. And control of the football switching hands here with very little time remaining in this contest. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive.
Well, they don't need to score here, that's for sure. They could just kneel it. They've got the huge lead late 4th quarter, but we'll see how they're feeling, Charles.
Yeah, we all know people out there who like to use every second of the clock, no matter what the score. And we know they don't need the points. They've scored in abundance already. Let's find out how they want to finish this ball game.
So this crowd will not go home happy. It's a victory for our visitors. And it was their defense that led the way, allowing just 3 points, that lone field goal in the entire second half.
And remember the old adage, offense sells tickets. Defense does what?
Wins championships.
And in this game, maybe a championship wasn't won, but a game was by the defense, right? Held them to just a field goal. That's a heck of a job. I mean, when they went out there with that determination and a pretty good game plan, pretty good idea of what they wanted to accomplish. Just love the execution, love the tenacity, love the way they finished.
So for our visitors, they move a step closer to 500 as their record improves to 2-3. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the home team here, the loss will move them back to 3-2 on the year. And perhaps fortunately for them, they'll get an early bye next week and come back to action in Week 7. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.